wanted to just ask you, how was it last week, the 3-day rally brought by INC? What lessons, what takeaway can you share with us that you weren't able to share with us last week?
First of all, everyone there was having a very good time and wish that it could last longer. But I think there's going to be another time pa. And it was calling for transparency, accountability, and a better democracy, which I think everyone can agree on and is in the interest of all Filipinos. And it is, I think, a source of hope that there are so many of our countrymen who are willing to go to a event like that to show the support of that by a wide number of Filipinos.
So, Kong, you recently filed po a resolution urging Congress to restart the probe with the flood control. Why is it necessary, Kong? What hasn't been resolved yet, in your opinion?
I think it's given that it hasn't been resolved insofar as only a small number of people have been held accountable to it. And very words given by people launching the probe last year said that we will hold accountable people all over the country. And yet the focus has been even just a few district engineering offices like in Bulacan 1st District. And the premise of pausing the flood control probe by Congress last year was that the Independent Commission for Infrastructure was created, but it actually closed on March 31 without much closure being given on what the next steps for that would be. So it is unjustifiable not to restart the probe in Congress, and I am eagerly awaiting the official answer for why we are not doing so yet. I think before people call for heads to roll, we should at least call for the truth to come out. And my request then is simply, I think, a much more modest one, which is if there's nothing to hide, then Congress should have no reason not to restart the probe.
Kong, which brings me to my question really, because Patpi and I were discussing a while ago. We were wondering what would the president report in his SONA. It's just a couple of weeks from now. Last year, sinabi nga niya, di ba, mahiya naman kayo. Kaya nag-upisa po itong flood control investigation natin. Is it realistic though, Kong, with all your urgings and with all your resolution to restart the probe, na may marereport po ang Pangulo po natin?
I can only speculate, but the making state witness of former Secretary Bonoan might lead to many others being implicated. And in pursuit of justice, that is good, which is why more than others, I am more welcome to that. Others have said that it is unfair that someone who was the head of DPWH be absolved of any wrongdoing. But again, in the pursuit of the greater good, it appears to be advantageous. However, I would want to emphasize that Secretary Bonoan would have knowledge of the wrongdoings all over the DPWH. And if previous statements are that there have been wrongdoings in almost all of DPWH, then it is insufficient for only a dozen or a few dozen people to be implicated. The logical conclusion, if Secretary Bonoan is to tell all, is that hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people have to be included in the case filed for flood control. And that's not so far what is being telegraphed. And I struggle to see how the government will react if, for example, most of Congress suddenly is under investigation for flood control anomalies. But we are to have a investigation na walang kinikilingan and walang selective justice, then that is the logical conclusion.
Kong Leviste, no, I was surprised. There were two names of congressmen who suddenly became, who suddenly caught the headlines. They are Noel Rivera and Jojo Ang. And the ombudsman is now going to file cases against them because they're now being labeled as contractors. I was just wondering if there's supposed to be many, if I'm not mistaken, like 12 to 15 additional incumbent lawmakers are going to make that list. Is this already the start? Because you were complaining that there seems to be no hearing. It's like quiet because I guess some of the congressmen are part of the flood control scam. So these two names already, Noel Rivera and Jojo Ang,
I think
contractors.
not saying that no one is being implicated because the ombudsman has been giving regular updates and has been filing cases already. But I think the rally cry last week is no to selective justice.
Yeah.
And as I said, we are to follow the logical conclusion of what Secretary Bonoan being made state witness is. It should be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who are being implicated. And on the question of contractors, the Independent Commission for Infrastructure had recommended cases for 8 and mentioned 2. So there's 6 others that are not included there.
Yeah.
Foremost is Congressman Edwin Garjola.
Yes.
And I think people are wondering bakit wala nang balita tungkol kay Congressman Edwin Garjola.
Oo.
Na nagkataon, marami siyang mga makakapangyarihang mga kaibigan. Kaya baka may kinikilingan kung ang pinaka makapangyarihan sa mga kongresista umano na may mga makapangyarihang mga kaibigan ay hindi pa sinampahan ng kaso. Pero I believe that it is forthcoming because they said that there's still more to come.
Yeah.
I'm just sana naman yung inuuna yung mga pinakamalaki, di ba? Pero dagdag ko po na sinabi din ni Senator Lacson noon na may 20% ng Congress, more or less, na contractor. And it's a figure that many people caught onto. And I think it is the job of those doing the investigations to find out who are the 20%.
Yeah.
Sinabi ni Ombudsman din noon na there's around 10% of Congress that's being investigated. So parang yun yung range na masasabi natin na there's maybe more critical mass, not just what you can count on your hand, but dapat nasa 30 to 60.
60.
Siguro
Oo.
ang iniimbestigahan ngayon. At dagdag ko din na pwedeng atin-atin lang.
Yes, sure,
Kasi
go ahead. Tayong tatlo lang naman
ngayong
nag-uusap.
araw
Oh,
yung first day ng impeachment trial.
correct.
Pasensya na po sa mga kasamahan ko sa Kongreso pero may iilan nga sa mga House prosecutors na may-ari din ng DPWH construction companies ngayon o noon eh.
Oh,
Kaya
contractors rin sila.
meron doon yung sila mismo noon.
Oh.
Tapos nag-divest sila.
Mm,
Meron din doon na yung kanilang kamag-anak hanggang ngayon ay may-ari.
Oo.
Kaya yun yung pinaka nag-react ako, yung nag-iimbestiga
Yeah.
ng iba, pero sila mismo ay may issue na hindi pa lumabas.
Yeah,
Di ba?
yeah.
I mean, ibang bagay naman kung we give everyone due process, sila nila proven guilty, pero bakit hindi man lang lumalabas sa media na yung mismong nag-iimbestiga ay contractor din pala.
Ayun. So marami talagang may mga kumbaga conflict of interest, ika nga, Kong.
Opo. To summarize, sabihin po natin 20% of Congress ay mismong
Contractors.
actor. Yung karamihan naman ng iba ay meron din kaugnayan sa contractor.
Yeah.
Kasi nga ni dating Yusek Cabral na halos lahat ng mga miyembro ng 19th Congress ay nag-submit ng project request para sa mga proyekto na hindi ibig sabihin may anomalya. Pero dapat imbestigahan kung may kaugnayan yung proponent sa contractor para makita kung may anomalya. Kaya, again, I'm not naming names on this because I'm giving more of a comment sa institution
Yeah.
na huwag tayo maging hypocritical. Kung sabi natin tayo po ay para sa accountability, dapat hindi selective at dapat hindi lang iilan. Ang masasabi ko, point na may tunay na accountability na hindi selective tayo, dapat daan-daan ang mga miyembro ng Kongreso at pataas na at least may investigasyon.
Okay.
Kung nabanggit mo na nga ngayon yung selective justice, nasabi niyo po na selective justice po yung ginagawa pong paglilitis po or yung persecute kay Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Paano niyo po nasabi na it is a form of selective justice? Ito pong, kumbaga, yung pinag-iinitan po, kumbaga, si Senator Marcoleta.
Yung allegation ay tumanggap siya ng campaign donation from private individuals. Hindi naman galing sa pondo ng bayan. At ang madadagdagan ko ay kung yan ang basehan na ma-filean ng plunder ang isang mambabatas, dapat percent ng Kongreso at Senado ay ma-filean ng kaso.
Ilang percent ulit naputol? Ilang percent? Ilang percent, Kong?
Kung i-apply natin ang batayan na na-file ng kaso si Congressman then Marcoleta, ngayon Senator Marcoleta, dapat 90% ng Kongreso at Senado ay ma-filean din ng kaso.
So lahat halos.
Wala na.
Lahat halos. Oo.
Hindi ko sinasabi na lahat ay guilty pero si Senator Marcoleta din naman ay hindi guilty. Kaya dapat ma-filean ng kaso kung yun lang ang batayan. Kasi ang daming mga tumatanggap naman ng mga donasyon din sa Kongreso at Senado.
Oo.
Yung iba, deklarado. Yung iba, hindi deklarado. Kaya yung hindi nagdedeklara ay nakaka-escape ng accountability. Kaya nagre-react kasi ang daming mga hindi deklarado dyan pero alam naman ng iba kaya dapat sana lumabas ito. Yun actually yung isang na-point out ko sa Kongreso noon na kung sino yung contractor na nananalo ng maraming kontrata sa isang probinsya, nagkataon yung malapit na donor ng politika doon.
Correct.
Kaya hindi yun nagpapakita na may transaction na hindi yan campaign donation na kung yung contractor yung nagbibigay sa'yo. Ang tawag dyan, kickback. Kaya nung sinabi ko yan sa camera, maraming mga kasamaan ko nagalit sa akin. Pero
ganyan
na-investigan yung si Senator Marcoleta, di dapat buksan natin yung issue ito. Kasi ang dagdag ko din, hindi lang to normal na mga contractors nagdo-donate sa mga kandidato. Maraming uncontrolled contractors nag-donate. Yung mga sinabing top contractors, yung mga lumabas sa Blue Ribbon Committee hearings, baka sa kanila hindi pa nakasuhan. Marami sa kanila donor ng mga politiko. Ang kanilang mga kampanya, pinondohan ng flood control. So, that to me is the height of hypocrisy na si Senator Marcoleta pa ang kinakasuhan, 90% dapat ang makasuhan din kung yan po ang batayan.
Oo nga. Kong Leviste, may malakas na ugong-ugong na meron daw isang paksyon sa Kongreso ay gumagalaw para ma-impeach naman po si Ombudsman Boying Remulla. Have you heard those rumors? How true is that? Will you, if ever, join that movement to oust, to impeach Ombudsman Boying Remulla?
Nakita ko lang po sa internet ang story and may screenshot na. At ang side ko ay mas natutuwa ako sa campaign ni Ombudsman Remulla for accountability than others. I'm sorry actually to say the following kasi medyo iba yung opinion ko sa iba. Pero puti na tough si Ombudsman Remulla sa korupsyon. Ang iba kasi ayaw yung ginagawa niya. Ako, natutuwa ako na tough siya sa korupsyon. Pero dapat hindi selective. Di ba?
So he's tough but he's selective in your opinion.
Ay, sorry, ayaw kong pong sabihin na siya po ay selective. Baka masasabi na, limitado lang kasi ang kapasidad ng ombudsman na investigahan lahat. Baka hindi siya binibigyan ng sapat na suporta ng the rest of government. Kasi, to give an example, may time na nag-request siya ng SAL-ENS ng members of Congress. Ayaw ibig ng Secretary General ng Kongreso sa sabi niya, papasuspend kita kung hindi mo ibigay yung SAL-ENS ko. Kaya doon mo nakikita, he's trying to do some things that he's being prevented by other branches of government. Kaya, alam mo kung tingnan yung mga SAL-ENS ng mga kongresista, baka nga 90% makakasuhan. Kung yung paglilitis sa iilan sa kanilang SAL-ENS na, oy, ito, may condo unit ka na hindi nakadeklara, ay maging basahan na matanggal ka sa pwesto, 90% siguro dapat at least investigahan, di ba? Kaya yun po yung overall na dissatisfaction ko with the whole process na bakit iilan lang ang iniimbestigahan ng donations, ang SALN, 90% naman may mga undeclared na issues.
Okay.
Ako. Well, going back to the impeachment of VP Sara, no, I would just like to really discuss this because sabi nga, history is being made today. It's the first day supposedly of finding out the truth. So, ito po bang magiging impeachment nila? Sinasabi po na dapat iksian daw up to 90 days lang. Ano ba yung talagang pinakamaganda pong basihan para masabing makatarungan po at may due process itong gagawing impeachment? Is it the speed of the case, of the trial? Ano po yung kailangan bantayan po ng taong bayan para masabing, ay teka lang, medyo kapanipaniwala naman itong ginagawa nilang impeachment trial lamang kay VP Sara?
I think the impeachment trials of former Chief Justice Corona were much shorter. Of course, former President Estrada was not finished in his trial.
Yeah.
But this would be the longest impeachment trial, if I'm not mistaken. And marami na rin mga pagdilitis ang ginawa ng Kongreso, pati sa labas ng Kongreso. Kaya ang sinasabi ng iba, gusto ng iba pahabaan for other reasons. I don't want to impute reasons on them. Pero masasabi ko, naapektuhan ang ibang trabaho ng Kongreso at ang Senado, pati na rin yung flood control. Kasi puno na ang balita ng impeachment na iiwanan na ang flood control. Ang agenda ng Senado, 3 beses sa isang linggo, impeachment, sana nagpagdinig na lang ang Blue Ribbon Committee tungkol sa mga anomalya sa iba't ibang mga probinsya. Kaya ang sinasabi ng iba, baka ito din ay paraan para i-divert ang attention mula sa flood control to something else. Pero ang huling dadagdagan ko on this point is hindi makakabuti para sa sinumang negosyante na nag-i-invest sa Pilipinas na magtagal ito.
Yeah.
Kung kailangan mangyari, wag sana maging 7 months. Kasi
Ay, imposible.
ang ibang mga
Possible
negosyante,
pa ba?
Oo, sana wag na. Oo.
ang ibang mga negosyante, hindi na mag-i-invest sa Pilipinas hanggat makita nila ang resulta kasi may uncertainty nga.
Yeah.
Kaya maraming mga investments sa ating bansa ay mapuput on hold dahil sa mga political uncertainties na ito.
Lose-lose tayo dyan, di ba? Walang
Correct.
nananalong
Oo.
panig dyan eh.
Oo. Pero Kong Leviste, kamusta ka personally? Kasi yung isang kasahaman mo, no, si Kong Kiko, banned na sa pagpasok sa Kongreso. You're very vocal. How is it now in Congress? Do you still go to Congress? Are you still able to enter peacefully and do your business?
Isang buwan na po nakabreak ang Kongreso. Balik po ang session muli sa July 27. Kaya actually ako pumapasok pero wala akong masyadong mga nakita doon pag pupasok po ako.
okay.
At I want Congress to work on all sorts of pending legislation. I was in a Labor Committee hearing actually on the first day of the rallies last week also. To increase the minimum wage by 200 pesos per day.
Yeah.
Want Ways and Means Committee hearing again to pass pending legislation to lower the VAT. Pero tila na nasa ibang mga issue.
Nasa sidetrack. Oo, nasa sidetrack. No, kumbaga maraming pending issues na nasa sidetrack because of the impeachment. So hopefully nga, I agree with you, no, that this impeachment trial doesn't stretch out too long. Otherwise, it will be a losing proposition for the Philippines. Foreign investors, even di ba, our day-to-day lives. Kasi maantala dyan yung baka magkaroon ng mga strike, mga rally, kung anong mga nangyayari. Correct?
Tsaka also yung mga yung mga batas na para makapagpabuti sana ng buhay ng Pilipino, mapuput on hold.
Naantala.
Diba? Dahil ang busy yung mga senador natin at kongresista na mag-impeach, diba, Kong?
Tama po. At sa totoo lang, pwede naman mag-approve ng ibang mga batas kahit na may ongoing na impeachment. Pero sa palagay ko, ang impeachment din ay paraan para ma-divert ang attention mula sa mas importante para sa mga karaniwang tao na mga batas tulad ng wage hike, lower VAT, o even investigation. Kaya they're getting away with not doing these things kasi may isang bagay na ginagawa nila na palaging nasa balita. Eh kung hindi dyan, baka maghahanap na ang mga kababayan natin ng mas mataas na sahod at mas mababa na buwis. Eh ngayon, hindi kasi puno ang balita ng impeachment.
Impeachment, yeah.